We are going to start in just 1 second. Lots of debate analysis. It was a good one. Everybody thinks they won, but I think the president didn't. Let's get this started, shall we? Nelson signs in with Go Biden. Okay, yeah, buddy. Tell me honestly, as a Democrat, what do you have to vote for other than you just hate Donald Trump? Seriously, you're kind of laughable at this point. You're like my son. I love my son, but dear God. Hey, Greg, what's going on? Happy early Friday to you. I decided to go live this morning. I'm even dressed up a little bit because I taped a segment for my show for Newsmax Television. So I'm wearing a jacket. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that just nuts? So, but seriously, why would anyone vote for Joe Biden? You're looking at a 47-year career politician who did D word for Richard when he was in Washington, D.C. He's the reason why Donald Trump was elected. He's the reason why. Okay? And he's the reason why Donald Trump's going to win again. All right? Honestly, seriously, the Democrat Party is so progressive, right? They've hijacked the word progressive, which I think is hilarious. And they reinvested themselves in a 47-year career bureaucrat whose family is ungodly corrupt. He has never made anything. He has never produced anything. He's never brought anything in a market. And yet he's filthy rich. He has multiple mansions. Where'd the money come from there, Davey? Where'd it come from? Oh, yeah. His son sold influence. His brother sold influence. His sister sold influence. All to meet the vice president while he was the vice president. That's what they do. That's what Barack Obama did. That's what Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton did. They sold influence. That's what they have. That's it. They're oligarchs. Okay, they're oligarchs. They're just like Russia. They look at Russia and Ukraine as the template because it's a great way for people who have no ideas, who have no ability to create anything. They only have the ability to tell us how to live our lives. And then they get into government and they take our tax money and they treat it like it's theirs. That's it. Last night's debate I thought was great. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I hope you did. Kristen Welker, the host of the show. Do you want to know how many times she interrupted Joe Biden or Donald Trump? Would you believe that she interrupted Donald Trump 22 times more than Joe Biden? Did you know that? And I actually was getting kind of sick of it after a while. I was getting thoroughly fed up with her just constantly interrupting the president. And if you noticed, if you get a chance to watch how she walked all over Donald Trump's answers, all over. And then when she'd pitch to Joe Biden, she wouldn't say a thing. Watch it. If you don't believe me, watch it. All right? The president, for some odd reason, he complimented her. Because I guess she didn't interrupt him 50 times more than the last debate. But there were some things that happened. He had his mic cut off, and he was constantly being interrupted by her, but he still got the points across. And just like in the last debate, Joe Biden was the first to interrupt the president.
China is paying. They're paying billions and billions of dollars. I just gave $28 billion.
New sanctions?
I just gave $28 billion to our farmers.
Taxpayers' money.
It's what?
Taxpayers' money. Didn't come from
China.
China.
You know who the taxpayer is? It's called China. China paid $28 billion.
There he is, interrupting.
And you know what they did to pay it, Joe? They devalued their currency, and they also paid up.
This is where he makes Joe Biden look like a rank amateur, because this president is giving China a little what for.
And you know who got the money? Our farmers, our great farmers, because they were targeted. You never charged them anything. Also, I charged them 25% on dumped steel because they were killing our steel industry. We were not going to have a steel industry.
Okay.
And now we have a steel industry.
But
yeah, this is the first president in modern history to actually be going after China for not only stealing our intellectual property, but dumping steel in the country to destroy the market, to destroy the steel industry in this country. And the reason why the president knows this is because he's dealt with China before. He sees how unfair they are in his business. And he gave Joe Biden what for last night. Man, I love it. Here's the president explaining why he ran to be president in the first place.
Talking about all these things you're going to do and you're going to do this. But you were there just a short time ago, and you guys did nothing.
We did.
You know, Joe, I ran because of you. I ran because of Barack Obama, because you did a poor job. If I thought you did a good job, I would have never run. I would have never run. I ran because of you. I'm looking at you.
He didn't run like you do, Joe, to enrich you and your family.
Now, you're a politician. I ran because of you.
All right, Vice President Biden, your response to that, and then I do have some questions for both of you.
Okay. Here is one of the, this is kind of interesting. You know, the left is going after Donald Trump, saying that even though he said it dozens of times, that he is against white supremacy. He's not a racist. He's not for, white supremacists in the KKK. And the Democrat Party, in cahoots with Joe Biden, they keep saying that the president hasn't said it. That's a lie, okay? Now, another lie is that Joe Biden says he never opposed fracking. But we have a lot of video of him saying he opposes fracking and fossil fuel. Mr. Biden, how did you get to the campaign appearance? Were you in a solar-powered jet? No, you were in a private jet that burns fossil fuel. Were you in a hydrogen-powered motorcade? No, you were in a parade of SUVs that burn a lot of gas, okay? So this nonsense of getting rid of fossil fuel, the left is in favor of it. They have no answer. That's what the Green New Deal, if you had a chance to read the Green New Deal, it sounds like a bad, I won't even say high school term paper. It's a bad junior high term paper. Here is the vice president once again lying about fracking.
And what about fracking?
All right, let me allow Vice President Biden to respond.
I never said I oppose fracking.
You said it on tape.
I did. Show the tape. Put it on your website.
I'll put it on.
Put it on the website. The fact of the matter is he's flat lying.
Would you rule out banning fracking?
No, let's go ahead and do the super frack montage.
Times Donald Trump lies about me.
Like, what about, say, stopping fracking and stopping new pipe?
I am not banning fracking, no matter how many times Donald Trump lies about me.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
I am not banning fracking, no matter how many times Donald Trump lies about me. No new fracking. No matter how many times Donald Trump lies about me.
We are going to get rid of fossil fuels.
No matter how many times Donald Trump lies about me.
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated.
Okay, well, the problem is, like where I live in Kansas City, there's a very large coal-fired plant south of the city, and it lights the entire city. Okay, it is clean-burning coal. The United States leads the world as far as reducing carbon emissions. Okay, we are a clean country, unlike China, unlike India, unlike Russia. And the idea of getting rid of fossil fuels so expeditiously is ridiculous. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez literally says we need to get rid of air travel. It's part of the Green New Deal. Last time I checked, there's a pretty amazing way to travel around the world, and I don't think you can take a train to Hawaii. I could be wrong. Here is Donald Trump going after Joe Biden on the email scandal. It is a scandal. The FBI is in possession of Hunter Biden's computer. They have acknowledged that it is real. Okay, his emails are real, his pictures are real, and the Biden crime family has been in business for years, and they have enriched themselves to the tune of millions of dollars. $10 million from a defunct energy company in China, $3.5 million from the wife of a former mayor of Moscow, and there's more coming. Here is the president talking about the email scandal.
But you were getting a lot of money from Russia. They were paying you a lot of money, and they probably still are. But now, with what came out today, it's even worse. All of the emails, the horrible emails of the kind of money that you were raking in, you and your family. And, Joe, you were vice president when some of this was happening, and it should have never happened. And I think you owe an explanation to the American people. Why is it? Somebody just had a news conference a little while ago who was essentially supposed to work with you and your family.
Yeah, Babinski, I guess, worked with the Biden family, but he got out because he thought they were too corrupt.
But what he said was damning. And regardless of me, I think you have to clean it up and talk to the American people. Maybe you can do it right now.
Vice President Biden, you may respond. 30 seconds. And then I do want to
And I won't interrupt you.
follow up on the election security.
I have not taken a penny from any foreign source ever.
That is fantastic. That is, wow, that is, and then he can do it with a straight face, or at least slightly crinkled face is amazing.
In my life, we learned that this president paid 50 times the tax in China, has a secret bank account with China.
And the president explained that actually. The bank account was not secret. It was actually claimed. It was part of his taxes, and he closed it before he ran for president.
Does business in China. And
he does business in China. He has to.
In fact, is talking about me taking money. I have not taken a single penny from any country whatsoever, ever.
Sure, buddy.
You have not released a single solitary year of your tax return. What are you hiding?
Yeah, yes, he did actually.
Why are you?
And by the way, he's audited every year by the state of New York.
Are you unwilling? The foreign countries are paying you a lot. Russia's paying you a lot. China's paying you
Vague.
a lot. And your hotels and all your businesses all around
Yeah, he owns the hotels. He rents rooms. That's how he makes money.
Country, all around the world. And China's building a new road to a new a golf course you have overseas.
It's called infrastructure. It's called investing in infrastructure, and it is a part of actually capitalism and the government working together. They build a road to a golf course so people will go to the golf course, spend money, and the people at the golf course will pay taxes on their income. They'll pay property taxes. I could go on and on.
So what's going on here? Why don't release your tax return or stop talking about corruption?
President Trump, your response.
First of
Please,
all,
go ahead.
I called my accountants under audit. I'm going to release them as soon as we can. I want to do it, and it'll show how successful, how great this company is. But let me just tell you, I prepaid millions and millions of dollars in taxes. Number one.
What you do is you pay quarterly and you estimate your taxes. That's what he does.
Two, I don't make money from China. You do. I don't make money from Ukraine. You do. I don't make money from Russia. You made $3.5 million, Joe, and your son gave you. They even have a statement that we have to give 10% to the big man. You're the big man, I think. I don't know. Maybe you're not.
You are.
You're the big man, I think. Your son said we have to give 10% to the big man. Joe, what's that all about? It's terrible.
All right, gentlemen, I want to ask you both some questions
I have
about
to
all of this.
respond to
But I'm going to let you.
Yeah, you're the big guy. You're the big guy. Hey, there's a Biden-Crichton family. Here's the deal. You give 10% to the big guy. The big guy. The Bidens, the Clintons, the Obamas, they're oligarchs. They're oligarchs. They've gotten rich by being who they are in public office and directing public money. Okay, so imagine this. Could you imagine being the head of a $4 trillion company? That's about the annual budget for the United States, $4 trillion. You're in charge of that. These guys treat it like it's their money. They treat it like it's their money, and so they can just throw $1 billion to Ukraine. Joe Biden said very clearly that he wanted a prosecutor fired who was investigating Hunter Biden's company, Burisma. He was on the board making $85,000 a month. There was a corrupt company, by the way. Ukrainian prosecutor was going after him. Joe Biden says $1 billion in loan guarantees is gone unless you fire the prosecutor. Joe Biden bragged about having the prosecutor fired within 6 hours after he said that. Okay? So let's just move on because they are oligarchs. That's all they are, oligarchs. Let's move on here because here's another thing that Joe Biden said they were going to fix. Obamacare was going to fix everything. Pardon, my earpiece is a little weird. Was going to fix everything, and nothing has been fixed. Now, here's the interesting thing about Democrats, and one of the differences between the Democrat Party and Donald Trump. For instance, there is a vaccine coming. It will not happen by Election Day, but there is a vaccine for a virus that we found out about in February. Okay, private industry, Donald Trump saying, "Let's go," getting it done. Joe Biden was in charge. Barack Obama was in charge when the swine flu hit in 2009, 2010. I got it. I ended up being hospitalized. I had pneumonia. Nobody had to wear masks. No schools got shut down. A lot of people died. Okay. Right now we have 200,000 people dying of coronavirus. Well, here's the deal. There's a difference between people dying with coronavirus and dying from coronavirus. 6% of the people who have died from coronavirus, 94% have died because they had comorbidities. Okay, so let's move on from that BS line. The Democrat Party never fixes anything. $780 billion was supposed to go to infrastructure, fix our infrastructure problems, and yet somehow that money disappeared into the ether. $780 billion disappeared into the ether. The Obama administration say they were going to fix health care. They're going to bring down our costs. They were going to bring down our premiums. You could keep your doctor. That was all a lie. Your costs went up. You lost your doctor. That's just what happened. Here is the vice president talking about how he finally, after 47 years in office, he's suddenly, I guess, a fresh face in Washington, D.C., and he's going to fix health care this time.
What he wants to do, which will basically be socialized medicine, he won't even have a choice. They want to terminate 180 million plans. We have done an incredible job on health care, and we're going to do even better.
Okay.
They cut his mic off. Did you notice that? Let's just do that. They cut his mic off a bunch of times last night.
Do even better.
Okay.
See, they did it. Unbelievable.
Vice President Biden, yes, this is for you. Your health care plan calls for building on Obamacare. So my question is, what is your plan if the law is ruled unconstitutional by the Supreme Court? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Especially by Kristen. She will not interrupt you, not say a single word, won't even burp or fart.
What I'm going to do is pass Obamacare with a public option.
Okay, now let me explain what the public option is. The public option is a government option that is meant to compete with the private sector, and it can still lose money, all right? So the government can come in with a giant public option. They can undercut the competition. They can keep the costs low, and they can still lose their asses on it, okay? So that's why a public option exists to put private industry, private insurance out of business, okay? So if you think it's just like a menu item, you are absolutely wrong. This is the same tripe that they tried to feed us when this jackass was vice president.
Become Biden care. The public option is an option that says that if you, in fact, do not have the wherewithal if you qualify for Medicaid and you do not have the wherewithal in your state to get Medicaid, you automatically are enrolled, providing
It's meant to undercut private insurance, put private insurance out of business, and then everybody has to go on the government program.
Petition for insurance companies.
This is the oldest trick in the frickin' book, people.
That's what's going to happen. Secondly, we're going to make sure we reduce the premiums and reduce drug prices by making sure that...
There's already actually legislation that is taking place in January where Donald Trump has insisted that hospitals have a menu of their costs. Drug companies are going to be reducing drug prices dramatically and introducing competition, whether it be here or abroad. This is already being done. Joe Biden has never done this. Obamacare never did this.
There's competition that doesn't exist now.
God, he speaks in the same old gibberish.
Allowing the Medicare to negotiate drug prices with the insurance companies. Thirdly, the idea that I want to eliminate private insurance, the reason why
I do believe you also said you are not in favor of fracking. Or you are in favor of fracking.
Had such a fight for...
There's another lie here, okay? He said, I just played it for you a few minutes. He said he's not going to ban fracking, and yet he's all for banning fracking.
With 20 candidates for the nomination was, I support private insurance. That's why not one single person with private insurance would lose their insurance under my plan.
But a lot of people did under Obama's plan, and you're going to do it again, you liar.
Nor did they under Obamacare.
No, they did, actually. You're lying once again. Lying. Thousands of people lost their insurance. I've got a buddy named Chris Plant. His insurance premiums went from like $300 a month to like $1,200 a month for his insurance. Unbelievable. Eric, thank you for saying I rock. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, and just a self-serving note here. It's my birthday. Yeah, it's my birthday. Woo! Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not a really big birthday. It's just another birthday. It's another day. But, a lot of people have October birthdays. And the president gave me what I wanted for my birthday last night, a nice debate performance. And I think he kicked Joe Biden's butt, to be quite honest. I think he kind of did. Got a couple more. I'm going to keep this relatively short today because there are a lot of people analyzing the debate. Everybody thinks that all Democrats think Joe Biden won. All Republicans think Donald Trump won. I thought the president was strong. I thought Joe Biden started stammering and and stuttering, and I just thought the president did a good job. Now, a couple of things I would have hit on. Okay. He didn't hit on the fact that the vice president didn't say a damn thing while the country was burning. Until about 3 weeks ago, he finally said something about Antifa. He's never talking about never condemning, white supremacy. How about never condemning Antifa? How about never condemning Black Lives Matter violence? Black Lives Matter, by the way, is a violent mob. Black Lives Matter protests have caused at least $2 billion worth of damage, hundreds of injuries, businesses out of business. I could go on and on and on. He's never condemned that. I wish the president would have gone after that. But I thought overall there were some very nice things to be said. And again, in case you're just tuning in, Kristen Welker interrupted the president 22 times more than Joe Biden. This is the president leaving Joe Biden speechless because Joe Biden and the Obama administration, they like to say that Donald Trump put kids in cages at the border, and that's not true.
Okay, President Trump, thank you. Quick response, Vice President Biden.
2 jobs, 1 job, be below poverty. People are making $6, $7, $8 an hour. These first responders,
I love the fact now he's supporting first responders. Now he's supporting the police. The president also did not mention that the Democrat Party is in favor of defunding the police around the country. Okay. There were some times when Joe would look in the camera and he'd say, "You sitting at your table and you're trying to figure out the bills." That is classic Pandry Biden, and the president shot him down on that last night.
clap for as they come down the street because they've allowed us to make it. What's happening? They deserve a minimum.
Yeah, nobody's clapping for the police anymore because of you. They're hurling bottles of frozen urine at the police because of your party, sir.
Wage.
Don't act like you give a rat's behind about first responders and police.
Of $15. Anything below that puts you below the poverty level. And there is no evidence that when you raise the minimum wage, businesses go out of business.
Except for all those businesses that go out of business. That's the only thing. There's no evidence except all of the businesses that go out of business because they can't afford minimum wage or they have to fire people because of minimum wage. 2 things about minimum wage. What is the number one word in the phrase minimum wage? What is the most important word there? Minimum. Okay. That's what the Democrats give the American people, the minimum. Okay. If you lose your job, they will give you the minimum. They will get you on food stamps. They will get you on welfare to just get by. The minimum, which will get their vote from you. That's what it's all about. As far as a $15 minimum wage, nobody needs to make the minimum wage unless you're a kid. My son worked at AMC theaters. He made $7.35 an hour. You know why he did that? He chose to. You know why? Because he got free movie tickets and free movie posters. He could have gone over to Walmart and made $11 an hour as an unskilled 16-year-old kid. Nobody makes the minimum wage. And if you're 40 years old and you're making the minimum wage, it's your freaking fault.
That is simply not true.
We're going to talk about immigration. We're going to talk about immigration now, gentlemen, and we're going to talk about families within this context. Mr. President, your administration separated children from their parents at the border.
Minimum wage. That's what you have to offer. Infrastructure, jobs, and minimum wage. The WPA, the Great Society. Dear God, man.
Order at least 4,000 kids. You've since reversed your zero tolerance policy, but the United States can't locate the parents of more than 500 children. So how will these families ever be reunited?
Children.
Well, if you were parents, you would be finding your children. Okay. The reason why parents were separated from kids is because parents broke the law. When parents go to jail, kids don't go with them.
Are brought here by coyotes and lots of bad people, cartels, and they're brought here, and they used to use them to get into our country. We now have as strong a border as we've ever had. We're over 400 miles of brand new wall. You see the numbers, and we let people in, but they have to come in legally, and they come in through merit.
But how will you reunite these kids with their families,
Let me just tell you,
Mr. President?
they built cages. You know, they used to say, "I built the cages," and then they had a picture in a certain newspaper, and it was a picture of these horrible cages, and they said, "Look at these cages. President Trump built them," and then it was determined they were built in 2014. That was him.
Do you have a plan to reunite the kids?
Yes, we're working on it we're trying very hard. But a lot of these kids come out without the parents. They come over through cartels and through coyotes and through gangs.
Vice President.
The president doesn't separate them. They are separated. The parents send their kids in.
Biden, let me bring you into this conversation. Quick response and then another question to you.
These 500 plus kids came with parents.
Prove it.
They separated them at the border.
Nah, that's not true.
to make it a disincentive to come to begin with. Real tough. We're really strong. And guess what? They cannot, it's not coyotes didn't bring them over. Their parents were with them. They got separated from their parents. And it makes us a laughing stock and violates every.
No, you're actually a laughing stock. You're kind of the laughing stock at this point. President is solving the border crisis. There were thousands of people streaming across the border, and the only thing we have is our sovereignty. You cannot have open borders. If you're a country, you cannot have open borders. Try to go to Mexico. Sneak over into Mexico. See where that gets you. See how pleasant the border facilities are in Mexico. I'm sure they're very nice. Before I wrap things up, I want to play one more segment. This is the president talking about Joe Biden being in Washington, D.C. as long as he has been. And again, this is a metaphor for why Donald Trump went to Washington, D.C., why Donald Trump was voted in, why Donald Trump has spent and by the way, the swamp is going down ugly. I lived in Washington, D.C. for a dozen years. I loved living in the city. But when you move to Washington, D.C. and you become a politician, you become embroiled in it, you become enriched. You could be a congressman for 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 10 years, whatever. You could be a senator for a couple of terms. You got a pension. You got a pension. You're set. Your meal's pretty much taken care of. Everything's taken care of. You get wined and dined at 69, man. I tell you what, you get everything. And when you get out, they'll give you a book deal, and nobody will buy the books. You know, so they'll buy a bunch of books and keep them in a warehouse and send them to a landfill. But it looks like you got a New York Times bestseller. And then you become a lobbyist, and you stay in Washington, D.C., and you live the life, man. I mean, more than any farmer in the Midwest, more than any coal miner in West Virginia, more than inner city kid in Detroit or in East St. Louis. Man, I tell you what, you move to Washington, D.C., you are set. It is the bourgeois, it is the proletariat. It is a tale of two cities, and it's been going on for a very long time. And the reason why Donald Trump is there is to drain that swamp, and that the swamp spent 3+ years trying to get rid of Donald Trump, including impeaching him on superfluous charges, something that never happened, and he was exonerated. And now we have a swamp dweller who's been in Washington, D.C. for 47 years, has never done anything but enrich his family, and he's suddenly going to be the savior of the country. It's laughable on the face of it. Laughable on the face of it. And if you watch what's happening around the country with Trump caravans and Trump tillas and crowds by the tens of thousands going to see the president versus 7 people to go see Barack Obama, I'll share that in just 1 second. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Hold on. Where is Barack Obama? Where is Barack Obama? Barack Obama. I've got it here somewhere. Hold on. Let me find Barack Obama. This is Vice President Barack Obama, who was performing in front of thousands and thousands and thousands of people just, a few years ago. Let me see if I can find it here. Where is it? Pelosi Dodges, Obama speech. I've got it here somewhere. I've got to show you Barack Obama. Yeah, here it is. Did
you hear what happened? Obama's now campaigning. Even though he refused to support Biden. I mean, and then even after Biden sort of semi-won.
Yeah, okay, so I didn't want to play that. But there's the president talking about Barack Obama. Suddenly, in the last 3 weeks, just starting to make appearances for Donald Trump. I think, or for Joe Biden. I think that's really funny. Oh man, I wish I had that. Where is it? Barack Obama literally appeared before like 7 people. I don't have it in front of me right now. I wish I did. It was very, very funny. It's really bad, and it's really, really, really embarrassing. Unfortunately, I don't think I have it right now. Crud. So let's play one more segment from the president talking about Joe Biden being in Washington, D.C. for so long and doing nothing.
And set up drug courts. No one should be going to jail because they have a drug problem. They should be going to rehabilitation, not to jail.
Why didn't you do it, sir?
We should fundamentally change the system, and that's what I'm going to do.
But why didn't he do it 4 years ago? Why didn't you do that 4 years ago, even less than that? Why didn't you do it? You were vice president. You keep talking about all these things you're going to do, and you're going to do this. But you were there just a short time ago, and you guys did nothing.
We did.
You know, Joe, I ran because of you. I ran because of Barack Obama, because you did a poor job. If I thought you did a good job, I would have never run. I would have never run. I ran because of you. I'm looking at you now. You're a politician. I ran because of you.
All right, Vice President Biden, your response to that, and then I do have some questions for both of you.
Well, I tell you what, I hope he does look at me, because what's happening here is, you know who I am, you know who he is.
Yeah, you're an
his
oligarch.
Character, you know my character.
Yeah, you're an
You know our
oligarch.
reputations for honor and telling the truth.
You're a liar.
I am anxious to have this race. I am anxious to see this take place. The character of the country is on the ballot. Our character is on the ballot. Look at us closely.
Let me ask some follow-up.
Excuse me.
Please respond,
If
and then
this
we're going to have
stuff
follow-up
is
questions.
true about Russia, Ukraine, China, other countries, Iraq, if this is true, then he's a corrupt politician.
All right.
So don't give me the stuff about how you're this innocent baby. Joe, they're calling you a corrupt politician.
Nobody's
Take a look
President
at the
Trump,
are.
I want to
from
stay
hell.
on the issue
Excuse
of
me,
race. We're
take a
talking
look at
about
the
the issue.
laptop from hell.
President Trump, we're
Nobody.
talking about race right now, and I do want to stay.
The laptop from hell, the laptop from hell. All right. Well, I would love to cover it all. I can't cover it all. I've got to go to work. And I thank you for joining me, guys. Eric, all you guys, and Ron, and all sorts of folks around the country. I appreciate it. I'm going to be on this weekend. And Ed, hello, Ed. I'm going to be on Newsmax TV this weekend on 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, and on 2 p.m. in the afternoon on Sunday. Comprehensive coverage of not only the debate but other stuff and comedy, which is kind of cool. Join me on MAGA Book, okay? Facebook is censoring me right now. Facebook is shutting down all the articles that I'm attempting to post about everything, okay? They're letting me have my memes, because my memes are not showing up on their analytics. They are not showing up on their algorithm to shut down conservative speech. They are shutting down all articles that I am trying to post, everything, but particularly anything positive about Donald Trump and anything negative about Joe Biden. Facebook is shutting it down. 1 or 2 views, 0 zip nada. My memes are not showing up because they're not triggering the algorithm. So I'm getting thousands of views on my memes. But anytime I try to post a news story, they are shutting me down. They are actively doing this before the election. Twitter is doing the same thing, guys. Go to MAGA Book, MAGA Book, MAGA Book, or Parler, Parler, MAGA Book or Parler. And then also there's rumble.com. Rumble is an alternative to YouTube, and I am there as well, okay? So magabook.com, Parler, Parler, or go to Rumble and just look up Rob Carson Show on any of those, okay? In the meantime, I got to go to work. God bless you guys. I love you, and I will see you again soon. Go Donald Trump.